You're listening to 97.7 The Bolt. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining me here on a Wednesday night. It is, of course, time for the Sam T. Blues Review, sponsored by Shiny Top Brewing in Fort Dodge. On tonight's show, we are going to be looking back and, of course, playing some of the greatest blues performances of all time, in my opinion, and the opinion of two other people. That is Lonnie Wilkins and Pat Kohler. That's right, KHBT's very own Pat Kohler. We're going to be hearing some of these great tunes in a little while, but first I want to air an interview. This was done on Monday of this week, promoting a show for Tuesday. That is Bobby Rush. We did air part of the interview in anticipation of his live concert, his Facebook live concert, I should say, and that was on Tuesday night. So you might hear me reference Tuesday a few times here in the interview, but that already happened. That was yesterday, but we talked about a lot of things, including his relationship with Rudy Ray Moore, a comedian from the 70s and 80s. I would recommend the movie Dolomite Is My Name, starring Eddie Murphy. Bobby Rush was in that film as well, and it is a great look at the life of Rudy Ray Moore. Without further ado, here is my interview with the great Bobby Rush here on the Sam T. Blues Review.
What you got going on, old buddy? You got something going on?
You have time for a quick interview? Is that all right?
Sure is. No, anything you want, brother.
Appreciate that. Welcome back to the Sam T. Blues Review. My special guest tonight, Grammy Award-winning blues singer. He has a new CD out, Sitting on Top of the Blues, and a brand new single, Dolomite Kid, inspired by his time performing alongside Rudy Ray Moore. Welcome back to the Blues Review, Mr. Bobby Rush. Bobby, how are you?
Well, thank you for having me on. I'm glad to be here, brother.
Absolutely. We're glad to have you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I will talk to you about the Facebook Live concert in a little bit, but I know last time we talked, we didn't really go too in-depth on Rudy Ray Moore, so I just wanted to ask you a little about that. How long did you tour with him?
Oh, probably about off and on for about 20 years.
What was that experience like?
About 20 years.
Yeah.
Oh, with Rudy Ray Moore, man. Oh, God, you got to understand. I felt like I was in the jungle, man. You know. No, Rudy is a great comedian, man. And just what he did, he did a lot of comedians, stand-up comedians. And Jimmy Lynch was one of the guys who was with him. He's still around. And we just went from one town to another one. We used to go to Birmingham a lot, down in Pritchett, Alabama, which is like Mobile, and at least once or twice a month, you know. And all over, everywhere, just... He would take his bullhorn and go out and advertise. I'm Rudy Ray Moore, and I'll be here such and such a day next Saturday. Next Saturday, you can see me live doing my thing and telling them jokes and just a lot of gagging and promoting himself, you know.
Yeah. So was the movie pretty accurate?
The movies were very accurate. Of course, you know, everybody were playing different people inside the movie. I was the only one, I think, played Bobby Rush. I played Bobby Rush. Because I was with him at the time, so everybody else was playing some of the other characters that was in the movie Dolomite, you know.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, it was all good. It's pretty straight down forward, and it came out real good, you know.
Yeah, it did. I thought Eddie did a great job. What did you think of Eddie Murphy?
Oh, he did. Well, I think Eddie Murphy did a great job, and he's a professional, and he respects me and what I've done through the years. And God, you know, he's not a baby anymore, but he was a baby under me, you know. But nevertheless, man, he was gracious to me. He was polite. He just embraced me, man. I'll never forget what he did for me and how he took me on his arm and embraced me.
So what was your involvement like in the movie? Did they just call you up and say, hey, Bobby, you want to play yourself in this?
I was back in the day with him.
Right.
You know? So they wanted somebody who recognized was in that kind of scene. So I was very fitting playing me because I was with the guy back in the day, you know?
Just get to hang out on set and do what you normally do.
Yeah. Only thing was new to me was get just to meet all the other entertainers, all the other artists, and the professional people in the movie, and Wesley Sykes and all the guys. God, it was just a pleasure, you know, Snoop Dogg and all the guys. Yeah. It was just a pleasure to meet all these guys. Although I had met them before, but it was just, God, it was a warm experience.
My name is Bobby Rice, but they call me the Dolomite Kid. Say my name is Bobby Rice, but they call me the Dolomite Kid. When I was a little boy, about 24 inches high, I used to crawl up on the table leg and make the biscuit fly. I would go up on the meat skin, I would come down on the bone, hit the biscuit 75 licks and make that cornbread moan. Oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
tell you, that's what I did.
that's what he did. That's what he
You
did.
see, my name is Bobby Rice, but they call me the Dolomite Kid.
The Dolomite Kid.
So I know you did a song shortly after that, Dolomite Kid, inspired by Rudy Ray Moore. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it so much.
But that was it's got comedy kind of a thing coming from what he talks about being the king of the jungles and the old bit, you know. And I just kind of went from there because I was with him when he was talking about the jungles and talking about the king of the jungles and talking about things he did, talking about how bad he was.
Right.
And so I just said, well, if he's that bad, let me talk about it being the Dolomite Kid, you know.
Yeah.
That's what he did.
See, my name is Bobby Rice, but they call me the Dolomite Kid.
The Dolomite Kid.
I sure hope that all your shows, the ones that have been canceled, get rescheduled pretty soon, and I'd love to see you again actually in person when this all blows over.
Well, thank you very much. That's awful nice of you to say that. So thanks for calling me again. And let me tell you, thanks for what you have done, what you're doing, what you're trying to do, because people like you keep the blues alive, and whatever you say about me, what people perceive me to be. So thank you for what you're doing.
Well, thank you, Bobby. Thank you very much. I mean, you're the one really keeping the blues alive. I'm just letting people know that you're alive.
Well, thank you, sir.
Of course.
I appreciate that.
Of course. Thanks again. That's Bobby Rush, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks, Bobby.
Thank you. Appreciate
Take
you,
care.
man.
Permanent member of the Fillmore family, a great guitarist. This is Mr. Albert King.
That was Albert King with Watermelon Man. That was recorded and performed, of course, at Fillmore Auditorium in San Francisco, released in 1968. That was part of the Livewire Blues Power album from the great Albert King. Albert King, known for that tune, Born Under a Bad Sign. You all know that one. A lot of people have covered that. A lot of great covers out there. William Bell wrote that song at Stax Records, and it just exploded from there. And Albert King, a wonderful performance at Fillmore in San Francisco in 1968. And the 60s were a great time for blues music. It was right at this peak of this huge resurgence in the 60s. A lot of the British invasion bands were coming over. Bands like the Beatles and the Kinks and Herman's Hermits, even though they might not sound like blues bands, that's what they were listening to. All these blues artists that went overseas and did all these concerts in England in 63, 64, 65, and they started playing that type of music first, blues, rhythm and blues, and it morphed, of course, into British rock and roll. One of the most well-known bands of that time, of course, was the Rolling Stones. I was giving you a second to guess, but it's the Rolling Stones. And the Rolling Stones, huge admirers of Muddy Waters' song, Rollin' Stone. That's where they get their name from, the Rolling Stones. So in 1981 in Chicago, Muddy Waters and the Rolling Stones performed at the Checkerboard Lounge. That was in 1981. They performed there. And I'm going to read part of an article. This is from Ted Scheinman of Slant Magazine. He gave a really good analysis of this concert. So Ted says, here's the scene. Waters is performing at the checkerboard, trotting out traditional numbers, adding thin, brittle fills with the half-length pinky slide. Side note, I don't know what any of that means, but I liked it. So cue the Rolling Stones, alright? Mick Jagger, Keith Richards, the other ones. They all enter the club. So Muddy Waters actually lights up. He sees them come in, and he says, get up here. Come on, let's bring Mick Jagger up here. There was a little bit of a back and forth, but then finally he comes up, and then he's like, alright, come on, Keith Richards, let's go. So then they all come up there, and they start jamming with him. And they're playing all these different songs, and, you know, the crowd obviously is going crazy, and this whole concert was released as live in Chicago at the Checkerboard Lounge. It's a concert DVD as well. They filmed this, and it's not the best quality, but it's probably the best you're going to get for that time for an impromptu concert. So Ted Scheinman of Slant Magazine says that Muddy sounds almost 20 years younger when he's playing the song we're going to play right now. And the Stones just brought this energy that, you know, you can hear it in Muddy, you can hear it in the whole band, and they had a bunch of special guests come in and out of this lounge, and this one was actually requested by KHBT's very own Pat Kohler. Pat is a huge blues fan like myself, so this is Mannish Boy. This is Muddy Waters with the Rolling Stones, live in Chicago, 1981.
Now, when I was a young boy, at the age of 5, my mother said I was gonna be the greatest man alive. But now I'm a man, way past 21. You got to believe me, honey, I have lots of fun. I'm a man. I spell M-A-child. And that rebel that man. No B. Oh, child. Why? That mean Mannish Boy. Man, I'm a not your bone lover's man. That's right. Man, I'm a Rolling Stone. Man, I'm a hoochie coochie man. Hey, hey. Well, hey, hey.
resist.
That's right.
The way I make love to a woman.
You
You just can't resist.
I hear you.
I'm a full-grown man.
I hear you, son.
I'm a man. I'm a natural born lover man.
I can dig that.
Don't hurt me, don't hurt me, child.
Yeah.
Don't hurt me, child.
Right on.
Don't hurt me, don't
Yeah.
hurt me, child.
Sing, son.
There y'all doing.
Hey, hey. Hey, hey.
Well,
The line I shoot, and I'll never miss it. When I make love to a woman, she can't resist it. I think I go down to old Kansas stew. I'm gonna bring back the second cousin, that's little John the Conqueror. Oh, you little girl sitting out that line, I can make love to you, baby, in 5 minutes time. Ain't that a man?
that's the man.
I'll spell him. Hey, child. And that relevant man.
Hey,
There's no B.
Dobby.
Oh, child.
Oh, child. Why?
That mean mannish boy. Man. Or not your own lovers, man. Man. A rolling stone.
Hey.
Hey.
I was sitting on the outside
Just son.
with just me and my mate.
Right on.
And we made the moon come up 2 hours late.
What a guy.
Ain't that a man? Yeah, ain't that a man?
What a guy.
Ain't that a man?
Thanks, son.
No bees.
Love me.
Oh, child. Why? Oh, that's man.
What a guy. What a guy.
Shine, she's my sweet little thing. She's my pride and joy. She's my sweet little baby. I'm a little lover boy. Yeah, I love my baby, my heart and soul. Love like eyes, I want to never grow.
sweet little baby. I'm a little lover boy. Yeah, I love my baby. She's long and lame. You my sweater, you see a man get mean. She's my sweet little thing. She's my pride and joy. She's my sweet little baby. I'm a little lover boy. Till the end of time, she's my sweet little thing. She's my pride and joy. She's my sweet little baby. I'm a little lover boy. Yeah, I love my baby more than soul. Love like eyes of water never grow. She's my sweet little thing. She's my pride and joy. My sweet little baby, I'm a little lover boy.
And that was the great Stevie Ray Vaughan here on the Sam T. Blues Review alongside Double Trouble. That was from Live Alive, released in 1986, recorded at a few different places, Montreux Jazz Fest and Austin Opera House, Dallas Starfest. Stevie Ray Vaughan, the Texas Sun, of course. He was huge in reigniting that blues flame in the 1980s. You really couldn't replicate him, along with, of course, his brother Jimmy Vaughan. Another artist from around that same time, around that same place as well. He was born, I believe, in Texas, raised in Louisiana, and then eventually moved up to Chicago, where he made a name for himself. That is Lonnie Brooks. We're going to hear this track from Lonnie Brooks. This is live from Chicago, off of the album Bayou Lightning Strikes. It's a great album, released in 1988. This is Trading Post, Lonnie Brooks.
Meet me down at the trading post. I want to meet me, baby, down at the trading post. I want to meet me, baby, one around the stove, down at the trading post. I treat you kiss for kiss, all the good loving you miss. I trade you a hug for squeeze, all the good
And that was Etta James, the incredible Etta James. When you're talking female blues singers, Etta James is at the top of the list. This is from her first live album in 1963, and this was at a time where blues really was a boys' club, you could say. But you can't deny Etta James's stage presence. Her voice is unmatched. And the songs themselves, I'd Rather Go Blind, At Last, classics. And the song you just heard was What I Say, obviously a Ray Charles tune. We're going to hear Little Ray a little bit later. I don't know why I said Little Ray. I think he was like 5'10". I don't know. Maybe that is little. But the point is we're going to hear some Ray later. But right now, I'd like to play one of the greatest, biggest, instead of little, blues personalities of all time in B.B. King. This is actually a performance that B.B. called his favorite performance. This is him playing The Thrill Is Gone, and this is live in Cook County Jail. The great B.B. King from 1971.
Thrill is gone. The thrill is gone away. Oh, the thrill is gone, baby. The thrill is gone away. You know you've done me wrong, and you're gonna be sorry someday. Thrill is gone. The thrill is gone away from me. Oh, the thrill is gone, baby. The thrill is gone away from me. Although I'm still living, but so lonely I'll be. Thrill is gone. The thrill is gone away for good. Oh, the thrill is gone, baby. The thrill is gone away for good. I know I'll be over all one day, like I know a good man should. You know I'm free now. I'm free from your spell. Oh, I'm free, free, free now, baby. I'm free from your spell. And now that it's all over, all I can do is wish you well.
Welcome back to the Sam T. Blues Review. I hope everyone's enjoying the show so far. We're going to have Lonnie Wilkins come out in a little bit. He is a good friend of mine and I consider a blues expert. Blues and rock and roll. He enjoys the likes of ZZ Top, Lonnie Brooks, and everybody else. Pretty much everybody I like, he likes, and that's why we have a good back and forth. So I'm looking forward to talking with him a little while later. But right now, I'd like to play for you one of the I don't know if I would say underrated blues singers, but certainly someone who isn't as high in the charts for people that don't really know blues or soul music. Everybody knows Sam and Dave, Wilson Pickett, Eddie Floyd. These are names you hear all the time. Otis Redding, Ray Charles, obviously. But Solomon Burke is one of the best soul singers I've ever heard. He popularized the version of Everybody Needs Somebody to Love that the Blues Brothers would later sing in the movie. I'm a big fan of his song Cry to Me, and he has a lot of great R&B hits in the 50s, 60s, early 70s. But his later performances, he was old and fat, very fat. I would say probably close to 500 pounds, I think, maybe more. Look up pictures of him, not to make fun of him or anything, but he would come out on this big throne and people would carry him onto the stage, and he just sits. He just sits in this big old chair and just belts out these tunes like you wouldn't believe. So this one is a little bit later in life. I don't think he's quite that big, but this is live at the House of Blues. This is Solomon Burke singing a couple songs, Brown Eyes and Matter of Time. Here is Solomon Burke on the Blues Revue.
We've got so many requests tonight. Easy. For all of the golden circle tonight. Beautiful. Beautiful. Beautiful brown. Brown eyes. Oh, sing it with me, come on. So doggone beautiful. I love you, baby. You and your beautiful. Beautiful brown. Brown. Brown eyes, beautiful, so doggone beautiful. Oh, you and your brown, easy, brown eyes. Oh, baby. Lord, I've never seen my brown. I love you tonight. Again. Listen. Someday some way. Are you with me? You realize that you've been blind. Yes, darling. You're gonna need me again. It's just a matter of time. Go on. Go on. Until you reach the end of your life. But I know you're gonna pass my way again. It's just a matter of time. Listen to me, listen to me. After I gave you everything I have, you laughed and called me a clown. Are you with me? But do you remember in your search? Come on, y'all, come on, for fortune, wealth and fame. Come on, never goes up. Someday, got to come down. I know. I know that one day you're gonna wake up and find, oh, that my love was nothing but a true love. Hey, hey, hey. It's just a matter of time. Easy time. Time. E. Rodney, I can't go. I know I gotta go, but I can't go yet. Time. Can I sing just a little bit more for y'all? I can't hear you, can I? Time. Easy. Come here, baby. What you doing, baby? No, it ain't right. Wonder what you doing there. Chick sunlight, little man, I'm losing you. I can see. Bit by bit, baby, your love left some women good. Told me that you love me, but you told me a lie. I love you, baby, till the day I die. Little man, I'm losing you, I can see. Bit by bit, baby, your love left some women good. Oh. Looking for little man, I'm losing you, I can see. Bit by bit, baby, your lost of some winning girl. Listen, what you doing, baby? No, it ain't right. I wonder what you doing that I take some night. Little man, I'm losing you, I can see. Bit by bit, baby, you lost of some winning. Let's go on this morning. Oh yeah. Oh Lord.
Mama, that's the way of you. Yeah, Lord.
Little by Little by Junior Wells here on the Sam T. Blues Review. That was live at Teresa's, recorded in 1975 or so. I don't have it in front of me, but that was a club in Chicago where a lot of these blues performers that you hear on the show played at. But that was a great performance, Little by Little, live at Teresa's, Junior Wells. And Junior Wells, known for his partnership with the great Buddy Guy on guitar. Buddy Guy, of course, would make a name for himself as pretty much the king of Chicago blues at the moment. He is still kicking, he's still putting on these amazing shows. And even when he was a little bit later in life, in the 80s, I mean now obviously he's later in life, but Buddy Guy got his start in the 60s, so, you know, this is late 80s now, and he's performing with the Saturday Night Live Band. That's G.E. Smith and the Saturday Night Live Band, performing in Chicago, hometown. He's still at the top of his game then. Now, in the 60s, he never slowed down one bit. So this is Buddy Guy live, The Real Deal, with the Saturday Night Live Band, live in Chicago.
Damn right, I got the blues. People put my head down to my shoes. Ah, you damn right, I got the blues. Put my head down to my shoes. Well, you know I just can't win, 'cause I don't have a damn thing to lose. Stop by my daughter's house. You know, I just want to use them all. Yeah, stop by my daughter's house. Woo! You know, I just want to use them all. You know, my little grandbaby came to the door and said, "Granddaddy, you know ain't nobody at home." I said, "What the?"
Welcome back to the Sam T. Blues Review here on 97.7 The Bolt. This is one of many quarantine editions of the Sam T. Blues Review. A lot of people are stuck inside and they want to hear some good, low-down, dirty Chicago blues music and other areas of the blues. My special guest tonight, he's been on the show a few times. It is Mr. Lonnie Wilkins. Lonnie, how are you?
I'm doing well, Sam. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Lonnie is a good friend, and I consider him a blues and rock and roll historian. How do you like that?
I do like that. I think I'm going to become even more of a historian. Last time I talked to you, I was delayed and stuck in Tampa, Florida. Mm-hmm. And now this time when I'm talking to you, here I am basically on stay-in notice, quarantine, whatever it's called, here in Illinois.
Yeah, you are stuck.
So I'm afraid of what it might be next time.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, Tampa was a little bit better than, no offense to Chicago, but if you're going to be stuck somewhere, why not a beautiful beach rather than a place that you already live?
No, I will not disagree with that one bit.
So, Lonnie, on tonight's show, we're playing a lot of great live blues music. We've been playing all sorts of artists, Muddy Waters, Rolling Stones, Albert King, Lonnie Brooks, one of your favorites, and mine, of course. Obviously, all these shows are canceled or postponed, I should say. Bobby Rush last night did a great little 45-minute show on Facebook Live. All these other artists are doing it, and of course it doesn't have that same feel when you're actually there, when you're at the House of Blues or wherever and you're seeing these shows. But I think just playing live music over the air, I still think is better than a lot of the studio recordings, because it still feels like you're there. You know, you get the sound of the crowd, and you can really get into it, and you know that obviously the singers are into it.
I agree. I think when you listen to a show, whether or not, for example, say if it's the Rolling Stones playing in an 80,000-seat venue, or if you catch early Stones playing in a 10,000-seat or 5,000-seater, whoever the artist may be, you're still able to engage into that, kind of get lost in that atmosphere that the live music is able to convey, and kind of use that imagination.
Yeah, definitely.
Put yourself in the front row.
Yeah, so we were talking about Chicago, and one of the performances I know you really like is the Blues Brothers Band. Now we're talking, this is after the famous Jake and Elwood Blues Brothers, and it's the second incarnation with just the band, and they do all these special guest stars, and different people come in like Eddie Floyd. They did a great rendition of Sweet Home Chicago with guest vocalist Eddie Floyd. Now, that is the reason I really like this new incarnation, because obviously we love Jake and Elwood, Belushi and Aykroyd, but when they bring in Sam Moore, Eddie Floyd, Wilson Pickett, all these huge stars to come out, you can tell that, you know, they love what they're doing, and it just, well, let's hear it. I'm going to stop talking about it. This is Sweet Home Chicago, Blues Brothers Band, live in Montreux, here on the Blues Revue.
I was born in St. Louis, Missouri, right down the road from their place they call Sweet Home Chicago. Chicago. Now, look at here. When I 1 and 1 is 2, when I 2 and 2, that's 4. Now where I get my loving, mama, you might never know. Say, hey, now baby, don't you wanna go? All right, back to that same old place, sweet home Chicago. How about a little saxophone right here? Trying to get my business fixed. And say, hey, now baby, don't you wanna go? All right, back to that same old place, sweet home Chicago. Now a little trombone from Bones Malone.
Up a check outside the grange. You know what I'm talking about. Just let me know if you want to go to that overalls all the rage. They got a lot of nice girls there. Have mercy. I hear it's fine. You've got the time. Never tender get yourself in. And I hear it's time. Almost every night. But now I'm making a second. Help mercy, everybody.
Just heard ZZ Top doing a little of both here. They did LaGrange and Tush. This is live from Texas. This is one of my guest hosts this evening, Lonnie Wilkins' favorite bands, of course. And would you say one of your favorite concerts?
Oh, absolutely. I would say, yeah, my favorite show that I've seen. They put on a very good show for three guys, which is still the crazy part to me. Same three guys 50 years later. I've seen them 3 or 4 times now, and I did have the privilege of seeing Billy Gibbons on a solo tour a couple of years back at the House of Blues in Chicago, where we got to be front row, center stage, and man, that 3 hours and the sore feet for a month was worth it.
Yeah, and I know another band that you really dig, one of my favorites as well. We've talked about them a few times here on the show, and that's Big Twist and the Mellow Fellows.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now, I've played Too Much Barbecue, which is, I think, both of our collective favorite songs, too many times. Too much barbecue, too much barbecue is what I say. What are your other tracks from them that you really dig?
You know, I always dig Big Twist version of Poke Salad Annie. That's always a favorite of mine. And another one, too, that's a sleeper that I like of his is Pouring Water on a Drowning Man.
Yeah.
I like his cover of that as well. I think that's a good one. When the drums get going at the beginning, it gets your feet tapping.
Oh, yeah. I like, he does 300 Pounds of Heavenly Joy, which I think he was probably 4. Let's be honest here.
Yeah,
he
he's
was up
bigger
there.
than 300.
He was a little bit bigger than 300. That's being nice.
And if he was quarantined for another few weeks, he'd be about 500 pounds of heavenly
That's a
joy.
good point.
Hi, baby, I'm your boy. You got 300 pounds of a heavenly joy. I'm so glad that you understand, baby. I'm talking about just 300 pounds of a muscling man. Now this is it, look what you get now. Well, all your bills think your days are done. Oh, don't worry, baby, you can still have fun. Ooh, take me, baby, for your little boy. I'm talking about this 300 pounds of heavenly joy. Now this is it, look what you get now.
Welcome back to the Sam T. Blues Review here on a special night. Every night is special when you hear the sweet, soothing sound of my voice. I'm talking with my good friend Lonnie Wilkins, who is I consider a blues historian, a musicologist, a restaurateur, a broadcaster, obviously.
Hey, and that's the best compliment you could give. A restaurateur.
A restaurateur. So we've heard all the greats here on the show. We've been playing everybody from Big Twist and the Mellow Fellows you heard a little while ago. Of course, the great ZZ Top. Stevie Ray Vaughan, one of the best as well, Texas Blues. Another band that, I don't know if we've ever mentioned this band on the show. I don't know if we've ever played any of their music or referenced them in any form or fashion, but I'm talking about the Blues Brothers.
Oh, yeah, that was John Goodman and the Little Kid.
Yeah, that, yeah. That was, Jim Belushi and Peter Aykroyd. This is the Blues Brothers. I feel like I've said enough about the band. But I'd like to talk about the very early days really quick, if you don't mind. Do you mind?
I don't.
Okay.
Live from New York, it's Saturday night!
So they started out sort of warming up the crowd at SNL, and they realized people really like this. They like what we're doing. And this is just, cast members of the sketch comedy show Saturday Night Live, Dan Aykroyd, John Belushi. They're just hanging out. They're just having a good time, warming up the crowd, playing these songs that they both share an appreciation for. And they realize, maybe we can do this on the show. And Tom Bones Malone, who played horns for the Blues Brothers, trombone, I should say, he was there at that first meeting when they wanted to do it, and I guess Lorne Michaels was against it. He's like, I don't get it. I don't know why this is funny. It's really not funny. Like, it's funny in the sense that, these are these two, white guys, one's from Chicago, one's from Canada, and they think they're this serious, hardcore rhythm and blues band. That's what made it funny. And just obviously the movie was hysterical, the situations they got in. But when we're talking about just the sketches, there really wasn't much to them other than, being entertaining, which they were. So that first song they did, I believe, was I Don't Know, which is the name of the song. I'm not saying I don't know the name of the song. They really wouldn't get their signature style until they did what song, Lonnie?
I believe that would be Soul Man.
Yes, my friend.
Coming to you on a dusty road. Good loving, I got a truckload. And when you get it, you got something. So don't worry, 'cause I'm coming. I'm a soul man. I'm a soul man. I'm a soul man. I'm a soul man. Got what I got the hard way, and I'll make it better each and every day. So honey, don't you fret, 'cause you ain't seen nothing yet. I'm a soul man. I'm a soul man. Play it, Steve. I'm a soul man. I'm a soul man. Ha! Listen, was brought up on a side street. Learn how to love before I could eat. I was educated for good stuff. When I start loving, I just can't stop. I'm a soul man. I'm a soul man. I'm a soul man. I'm a soul man. Well, grab the rope and I'll pull you in. Give you hope and be your only boyfriend, yeah. Yeah. I'm a soul man. I'm a soul man. You're a soul man. Ha! I'm a soul man. I'm a soul man. I'm a soul man. Ha! Steve Cropper and Duck Dynamite.
Welcome back to the Sam T. Blues Review here on 97.7 The Bolt. My special guest tonight has been Lonnie Wilkins, Lonnie the Stingray Wilkins, as he's known in the Panhandle. He does a lot of blues shows out there. It's just him with he has a banjo, harmonica, and drums, and he plays them all at once, and he wears a straw hat, and he's known for his finger-picking technique. He's got 6 fingers on each hand, and that's how he plays the banjo and the drums at the same time. It's quite a sight to see if you're ever in the Florida panhandle. Lonnie, how's it going?
Well, I'm doing good, me and my 12 fingers.
You know, that would be a sight to see. I did make all that up, but that would be a sight to see. No, Lonnie's my good friend. He's been on the show a few times. We've been talking about live blues music because there's really no better live music. Is that right?
No matter who you are, where you come from, if you get some blues going through someone's veins, if you look down, you'll see all their feet tapping.
You kiss me and you hug me, fill me full of drinks. You took all my money before I began to think. You're using me. You're using me. You don't do something I like. I want all that money back. I bought you a new car, fine, pretty clothes. I saw you riding that guy. Down the road, you're using me. I said you're using me. You don't do something I like. I want all that money back.
First, I want to say thank you for joining me here. I know that you actually have to work today, so I appreciate you taking time out of your day to talk with me a little bit. I'm sure you're not getting many customers, so I'm sure this helped you a little bit.
No, it's been great. Thanks for helping me pass the time today. It's a slow day in the office. I've basically been paid to talk to you and wash my hands 37 times.
There you go. 37's a little low. Might want to work on it.
Well, I've still got plenty of time left in the day.
I know you do. But yeah, thanks again. That was Lonnie Wilkins, ladies and gentlemen. Lonnie, thanks for your time.
Thank you very much for having me, Sam. And if I could just plug my new blues record that'll never come out. It's Lonnie Stingray Blues. You gotta wash your hands.
Okay, great. Is that going to be a double LP, or is that just one?
It's going to be a double, except it's only 3 sides. One of them doesn't have anything on it, but that's for you to figure out.
'Cause I got a woman way on town, good to me. Yes, I have. I got a woman now, way over town, good to me. Oh, yeah, yeah. She give me money when I'm in need now. Oh, be the kind of friend in need now. Say I got a woman way on town, good to me. Yes, I have. She says I love her. grummers or fuzzers, always treat you right. Never running the streets and leaving me alone. She knows the place now, right there now in her home. Way on down, it's good to me. Yes, I have. I got a woman now, right here in Newport. I tell you, she's all right. Oh yeah, she's my baby. Don't you understand? Oh, right now, I love her man. Oh, I got a woman now, way on down. I wanna say it good to me. Yes, I have. She's all right now. She's all right. She's all right now. She's all right. She give me money when I'm in need. Yeah, she's the kind of friend in need now. She says I love her just to me, and I know she can love me tenderly. She's there to love me now, day and night. Oh, she can love me all right. She's my baby. She's my baby. She's my baby now. Don't you understand? Love a man. I said I know now. She's all right now. She's all right now. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. She's all right now. Well, all right. You know I feel all right. You know I feel all right, children. I feel all right. If you leave me, I'm gonna crazy. If you leave me, I'm gonna crazy. 'Cause I love you, love you, I love you too much. If you quit me, I'm gonna crazy. If you forget me, I'm gonna crazy. 'Cause I love you, love you. You gotta live for yourself and nobody else. You gotta live for yourself and nobody else. And believe me, I'm a crazy. And believe me, I'm a crazy. 'Cause I love it, love it. I love it too much. You gotta live for yourself and nobody else. You gotta live for yourself and nobody else. I'm going crazy. And believe me, I'm going crazy. 'Cause I love it, love it. I love it too much.
You've been listening to the Sam T. Blues Review on 97.7 The Bolt. Be sure to tune in every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. We're going to be playing the best blues, soul, rhythm and blues, funk music, anything that sort of fits under that blues umbrella, which is a lot. We're going to be doing that every Wednesday night here on The Bolt. The show is sponsored by Shiny Top Brewing in Fort Dodge. Our theme music composed and performed by the great Little Magic Sam. Check him out. Great musician from Toronto. Like his Facebook and Instagram page at Little Magic Sam. Listen to his music on Spotify as well. And you can follow the Sam T. Blues Review on Facebook and on Instagram at STB_977. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. And thank you to Lonnie Wilkins and blues legend Bobby Rush for joining me tonight. And I do hope you join me next week. This is Sam T. Jensen for the Sam T. Blues Review. Thanks, everybody.
It's a stagger leg. a rainy morning, yeah, could be on a rainy night with old Stagger Lee. Billy the Lions had a great big fight, talking about the bad man. Coming through Stagger Lee. Stagger Lee and Billy the Lion, been a gamble late with old Stagger Lee through something. Billy swore that he threw it, talking about the bad man. Coming through Stagger Lee. Billy said to Stagger Lee, man, you know I'm going like that. You know I done won all your money. Man, your brand new Stetson hat, talking about the bad man. Coming through Stagger Lee. Billy said to Stagger Lee, man, please don't you take my life. You know I got two lovely children. Man, a very lovely wife, talking about the bird man. Coming through Stagger Lee. What I care about your two little babies now and your darling loving wife. You know you done won the magic hat. Man, are you bound to lose your life? Talking about the bird man. Coming through Stagger Lee. Boom, 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 the boom, boom, went that 41. My Billy and I laid a pool of blood, dead baby done, talking about the bad man. Coming through Stagger Lee. Down the Lions Club, yeah, would you be stepping in Billy the Lion blood, talking about the bird man? Coming through Stagger Lee. Police officers, how can it be? You done arrested everybody. Some cool old Stagger Lee, talking about the bird man. Coming through Stagger Lee.